You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old, because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce. You still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff, my whole life, that was going to be taken away from me.
When a 50 Cent documentary is released that revisits long-discussed industry controversies, it quickly shifts the conversation from speculation to questions of accountability, drawing attention to why certain claims remained unaddressed and who may have benefited from that silence. By examining Aaron Carter's rise and decline alongside public allegations and discussions surrounding figures like Diddy, the film presents a broader narrative about unresolved concerns rather than isolated events, encouraging viewers to reconsider how such stories were handled over time. With appearances and timelines overlapping with well-known artists like Justin Bieber, the documentary suggests a wider industry context in which influence, reputation, and control shaped what was openly acknowledged, rather than focusing on individual incidents, but it highlights a system often criticized for prioritizing image over transparency, leaving audiences to question why it took so long for these connections and conversations to be brought forward more directly.
Your father and losing him, and then yet earlier you acknowledged that your father had put a to your head and fired it.
Sean Diddy Combs has been swimming in both criminal and civil law.
What? Wow. Talking about a transition. Man.
Ever since he got indicted, and the storm doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. Recently, another wave of accusations has just been leveled at him, this time a staggering 25 lawsuits alleging inappropriate relationships with younger individuals. And while the whispers about his past connections with Justin Bieber and Usher during their early careers have been making rounds in the past months, a new shocking name has entered the conversation: Aaron Carter. Aaron, who allegedly first met Diddy at just 9 years old, is now being linked to allegations that have sparked heated discussions.
When 50 Cent structures his documentary around material that was allegedly kept out of public view, it goes beyond revisiting rumors and instead reconstructs timelines to highlight how certain events were minimized or erased from collective memory. The narrative frames silence itself as a form of evidence, prompting viewers to question why key stories were delayed, who had control over the narrative, and how influence was allowed to operate without scrutiny for so long.
Every time you think you've heard it all, another layer of darkness gets peeled back.
Right.
With the way things are unfolding for Diddy, this might just turn into the scandal of the century.
Aaron Carter!
I just want to make everyone happy and just love and do my music. Do you honestly think that that's the death?
You know, I know who Aaron Carter is, but I don't at the same time. I forgot what it was that he actually did. But I believe he came from one of those, was it like a Disney show or something like that? I believe so. Because he has a brother, yeah.
Definition of a meth head and a crackhead. Teaching my niece her first dance moves. Making music on my bed.
Aaron Carter was once the golden boy of pop, a wildly talented child star whose meteoric rise to fame was nothing short of remarkable. He was only 9 years old when he dropped his self-titled debut album, captivating audiences everywhere and securing his spot as one of the biggest child stars to ever grace the music industry. Carter was tipped to do great things and have a long, successful career, but as bright as his star burned, it faded just as fast. Fame at such a young age can take its toll, but there was so much more that contributed to the downfall of Aaron's career. Several insider sources have suggested that Aaron may have been a victim of manipulation and the toxic culture.
In revisiting the trajectory of child stardom, the film frames Aaron Carter not as a passing headline, but as a case study of early visibility paired with a lack of meaningful protection, highlighting how fame can amplify talent while failing to provide adequate support systems. By treating silence as an active force rather than a neutral absence, the documentary raises a broader question about accountability, prompting viewers to consider who may have benefited from maintaining that silence for so long.
I'm doing good, man.
You doing good?
Yeah, staying strong. It's been 8 months of a lot of turmoil and back and forth. But at this point, I think that I've got it under control. I'm doing everything that I need to do, and just focusing on my music, which is what I love. It's my passion, and really just taking care of my aftercare, and
which consists of what? The care. You're doing what you have to do.
So
what does that mean to you?
Basically, a lot of people in the news, there's hundreds of posts from media, and they all said, that I'm 165 pounds, and when I checked into rehab last time, I was 117. Same weight that Michael Jackson died at, actually. And
117 pounds.
Yeah. I got my weight up and I kept it the whole time. I've managed to turn my life around. I'd be able to purchase houses, flip houses, be a real estate mogul, do touring after all the...
So you're buying and flipping houses, huh?
Yeah.
And I see that this one is
for sale right now.
Is up for this one's up for sale.
Yeah, so Christy Olympus is she's like my big sister. But she's my real estate agent. She got me to my first house, which is only like about a mile away from here.
Yeah.
And then flipped that one from 420 to 620, got $200,000 profit, rebid.
Aaron Carter's rise began at an age when he had little capacity to navigate an industry that often benefits from youth while delaying accountability. And the documentary places his early success alongside later instability to suggest how access can appear as opportunity before gradually becoming dependence. It offers a critical social perspective, arguing that when a child's value is tied primarily to performance, warning signs are too easily reframed as pressure rather than recognized as potential harm, pushing audiences to reflect on when ambition overtakes responsibility and when the obligation to protect is overshadowed by the pursuit of success.
Other stuff that's going on with that. They look at the
right.
They look at the stuff. They look at this right here, bro. First and foremost, all the companies that you have, you understand, and I know some people have trust and have companies in their kid's name. This man never put anything in his name. Why? It's either his mother, his son, his kid's name and everything like that. He had 18 companies that was giving him some kind of revenue. Why is nothing really in his name? Is there some kind of tax evasion? They looking at that. You understand? You got people in the industry that's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody gonna come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter dead.
Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, then have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, you know, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and you know, they're making a lot of allegations.
Same way they made allegations about Usher.
The film repeatedly returns to the theme of proximity, focusing on who was closest to key decision makers and who controlled access to opportunities, suggesting that influence is rarely incidental. It presents Diddy as a recurring figure within overlapping narratives of mentorship, social circles, and status, while avoiding definitive claims and instead mapping relationships that imply how power often operates through informal networks rather than formal structures. If accountability can exist in the gaps between official titles and defined roles, the documentary ultimately pushes institutions to consider how responsibility should be identified and addressed within those blurred boundaries.
Only bad thing about a star is they burn up. Niggas say turn up, hoes say turn up.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, but you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff, my whole life, that was going to be taken away from me.
One of the documentary's most sobering threads documents Aaron Carter's repeated public calls for help, framing them not as spectacle or collapse, but as quiet records of fear, isolation, and an increasing awareness that something was seriously wrong and that danger felt increasingly close.
He died from that pneumonia.
Yes.
You know, just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real thing. Real life street stars. Know what time it is.
Oh no, it's all good. But Uncle Ron, Beyonce's ex-bodyguard, who threatened to expose them. Yeah, threatened to expose them, I believe, in 2023. Is deceased. He's passed away.
Allegedly, that's what they are saying.
Allegedly, that is what they are saying. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they said he died from that pneumonia.
Yes.
You know, just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes, and then yeah. A lot of people been getting that pneumonia. I'm surprised they didn't try to say that Liam.
The moral weight of the story is portrayed as shared across multiple layers, where audiences witnessed events, platforms amplified them, yet meaningful intervention never followed, revealing a system in which visible suffering can circulate widely without resulting in effective protection. When distress becomes so public and unmistakable, the documentary raises a difficult question about responsibility. asking who, if anyone, is ultimately accountable for stepping in and taking action.
Live on you, but you know he went over that balcony. But the thing is, they say he went on his own. But there's two other things that I considered as I speculate. And this is all my speculation. None of this is true yet. But what if somebody told him he had to jump off?
Man.
What if he would have rather jumped and be tap out?
Right.
You know? Or maybe imminent danger was there. And
it's
that
alleged
was
that
only escape.
Right. It's alleged that he had Tootsie.
Oh no, that's not alleged. That is a fact. There, Rook. It was found in his system in his autopsy. That's not alleged.
That's crazy.
The Tootsie, yeah. Yep.
Jack, Liam Payne, his fall. There's a lot of alleged things they're saying that happened.
On multiple levels, his fall.
There's a lot of speculations.
Personal life.
Right.
Health.
What is his ties to Diddy?
I mean, all of those kids from that era, even the British bands, they all partied with Diddy. I'm just... It's hard for me.
By broadening its perspective, 50 Cent's documentary connects individual experiences to a wider cultural pattern that has been criticized for normalizing the presence of minors in adult-dominated environments, showing how young performers were often moved through the same spaces of influence where boundaries were expected but not consistently enforced. It portrays a system that depended on assumptions rather than strong safeguards, allowing vulnerability to persist within structures primarily built around power and access.
Really get invested in what's happening to Liam Payne right now because I haven't gotten over what happened to Nick. Nick's brother Aaron Carter.
Right.
A lot of people keep forgetting Aaron Carter was begging for help, begging for independent financing, begging for security. He made it very clear Sony was out to get him, just like Michael Jackson told him they would be. And right around that time, his brother had just been accused of graping one of the girls from making the band, Diddy's entity. And they were trying to make all of that go away. And Aaron called his brother out. And then the next thing you know, he said, if anything happens to me, I did not do this to myself. And then he was gone, and they said he took his own life, just like they're saying about Liam Payne. Why doesn't anyone want to see the same thing happening over and over and over again? Because if Diddy is responsible for Liam Payne, then he is without a doubt responsible for Aaron Carter.
Shout out really out of street stars, nigga. Move.
This is where references to Justin Bieber appear, not as accusations or direct comparisons, but as contextual examples of recurring pathways within the industry for young talent. When similar patterns seem to surface across different generations, the documentary encourages viewers to question whether such repetitions can still be dismissed as coincidence.
You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in
the car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah. I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of a camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges. Cassie, is she a victim in all this?
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in as she's like 18, like 19 years old. In the very beginning, after a while, over time, you condition for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip-hop is fine.
The documentary frames silence as a system sustained by loyalty, fear, and concern for reputation, suggesting that many adults around young artists may have understood more than they publicly acknowledged, while still maintaining a stance of ignorance. It presents this as a form of distributed responsibility, where no single individual is solely blamed, yet harm is allowed to continue without interruption, leading viewers to confront a difficult question about accountability. When awareness is partial but widespread, and no one speaks up, where does responsibility ultimately lie?
Of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put the stuff in my fanny pack, King?
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
So they're saying it's his lawyers. How on earth did 50 Cent get a hold of footage of his lawyers? Now, one could say, isn't that privilege? How is this footage allowed? Now, you could also argue because someone's filming, there's other people there, you lose privilege. I've learned that in my appeals case. I have not filmed any of my legal meetings on purpose because if you film it, well, then it gives up your privilege in a way. So I'm assuming that's how they're getting away with this, because he's filming conversations with his lawyers, whether they knew or not. That footage, now that it's gotten in the wrong hands, or I guess different hands, isn't a longer privilege. I want to get a lawyer on it to confirm it, but I gotta be honest, I'm kind of shocked. You'd think, well, this should all be included, should it not?
Listen to me. I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
The footage is
like the way he's bossing around these high-powered lawyers is so revealing.
Part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Oh, he's loving this.
Jackson, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. He has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
We knew that was coming, by the way, because we learned that throughout, as he was using his own kids to post birthday messages and etc. Like, this guy wants to control everything.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
He's like, oh yeah, look at all these. This wasn't shot. Yeah, what's up? Let me shake your hands. Yeah, I'll take this. He thrives in this. This is, yeah, when people recognize him. what up? Like, barely anybody there. He's like, yeah, everybody's here looking at me. He's like the quarterback that can never graduate, it feels like to me.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath.
I've been in the streets amongst people. I gotta take a bath. He's like horrified. He's disgusted by it.
Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do.
A pivotal shift occurs when speculation gives way to formal processes, as legal filings, professional reviews, and structured investigations replace informal commentary, resulting in a more disciplined and restrained tone rather than sensational framing. The documentary emphasizes careful evaluation over emotional reaction, handling individuals and claims with caution, while focusing on how available material is assessed methodically. This transition is significant because it separates public suspicion from institutional accountability, ultimately raising a broader question. If truth requires formal structures to be recognized and acted upon, why did those mechanisms take so long to emerge or be applied consistently?
$1,000, you know what I'm saying? You can sit here and tell me that you're gonna pay me for my time sitting right down here with y'all. You understand? So then, one thing led to another, and I was like, all right, well then, F you, I spoke to 50, and then she said 50, and this is exact words that came out her mouth. 50 does not determine what goes in and goes out of this documentary. And he definitely don't pay, he determine what somebody get paid. It's not his documentary like that. I was like, oh, so if it's not his documentary and I spoke to him like that, I don't need to be doing nothing with you because I'm doing this on the strength of him. But you gonna pay me if I do it. So it went back and forth, for a little bit, and then they had Kirk Burrows giving me calls and everything like that. What are you calling me for? You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Get out of here. I know what kind of dude you is anyway. Me and you cool and everything, Kirk, but don't call me about no business with this stuff like that. And then what I found out is that he was making a deal, cutting a deal for himself as well as Tim. You understand? And I was trying to get a deal for all three of us. You understand? So that's how them industry cats go. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like this. So then he called me back again, and I told him, like, listen, man, don't you ever call my phone again, Kirk? You know what I'm saying? Because we had got into it about somebody calling him. He told me Groovy Lou called him and wanted to know why Gene's still doing this, the puff and everything like that. And I mentioned it on the Gene Deal show. You understand? I said something. Then he called me back like I was lying. And listen to me, Kirk. Don't call me about what these clowns and these niggas say right here, bro. And especially don't call me talking about what I gotta fix, when in fact, you know what you told me and you know what our conversation was. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing about why I'm not in the thing, the lady was talking greasy to me. She had no right to talk greasy to me. And then she told me that 50 didn't have the power to do anything, but they using his name to like push the whole documentary. And that's what it was about. So that's why you don't see a cameo other than the pictures they used of me on the film in the documentary. I got like 3 or 4 pictures in the documentary that I've seen of myself. Some people say they saw more, but I know three different times where I was certain places and you could actually see me in the documentary, and that's the only thing you're gonna get. But the stories that they told in the documentary, bro, come on. They could have went a whole lot deeper. They could have did a whole lot more. So I ain't in the documentary because that lady that was the director, I think, what's her name? Alex State.
In closing, the film deliberately avoids offering a simple resolution, refraining from clear verdicts or oversimplified interpretations, and instead highlights the imbalance between fame and safety, access and oversight, and speculation and verified accounts. Rather than focusing solely on Aaron Carter's personal trajectory, 50 Cent's documentary encourages viewers to reflect on what was permitted to occur around him, and why figures such as Diddy and references to Justin Bieber appear within broader discussions of influence and authority. As the industry is compelled to examine itself more closely, the film ultimately leaves audiences with an unsettling question: whether meaningful structural reform will follow, or whether silence will simply be repackaged in a different form.